I have some fiat currency that is worth more than face value and has actually increased in value. I have an extremely rare one and we're going to talk about that in this video. We're going to talk about the values. And I sent these off for grading, and I'm going to share with you how much it cost me and how much I paid for these. So let's get started. But first, I am going to have a live Friday. It's going to start, I think it's 10:15 a.m. in the morning, and we're going to do chat. I'm going to sell coins live. We're going to do some auctions. If you're interested in buying anything or bidding on the auctions, please send an email to coinhelpu@gmail.com with your YouTube handle, your YouTube username, as well as your real name and your address. That way we know who you are, because what we'll do once you are finished, we'll send out invoices to everybody so that they can pay for their earnings or anything that they purchase, and we'll be able to keep track of everyone. If you're a regular customer, you can just send an email and say, hey, this is me and I want to participate. So this is one of the things that I'm excited about. I've not done this before. This is going to be during business hours, and we're going to have probably phone ringing. We're probably going to have all kinds of things going on, but I think it'll be a lot of fun. We'll see what happens, and that's what we're going to do Friday. So I have this currency. This is from the American Banknote Company in New York. This is called fractional currency. These were printed from 1869 to 1875, and they were in various denominations so they weren't confused with stamps. So this one here, graded AU50. Allison and Spinner, you've got the secretary, treasurer secretary, and a treasurer. It's FR 1257, which is the catalog number that helps you identify these. This is a really nice note in this condition. A lot of people don't even know there was fractional currency. But at one time there was. Like I said, there were several different kinds of currency. And here's another one. This is another 10 cents. And this one here is FR 1265. It had AU 55. And this one, they said, was previously mounted, meaning it was glued to something. Maybe those marks over here on this side, maybe it was taped, something like that. Didn't really take away from the eye appeal of the note, but that's what they've claimed. This one here, on the other hand, has staining. This one's 25 cents, fractional, and it has 1874. I don't know why they didn't put that on there. Extremely fine, 40, and the stains are on the back for the most part. And it's staining, foxing, a lot of people call it that. Sometimes it can be mold and different things on these notes. It's well known, it's accepted, even though it can reduce the value a little bit. Now, a note like this, you're probably looking at basically $75, this one being mounted $50, and this one here about $125 for this one. Then we have a 1902 national currency, and this was of New York. It's $10. You've got your charter number, which is 4645, and it's FR 628. And it says it has the plain back, very fine 35, Napier and McClung. These are beautiful notes. This one I thought should have been extra fine 40. It does have some heavy folds, 2 heavy folds on it, but the paper quality I thought the condition myself, I thought that extra fine 40 at least. And you can see how nice that looks. A note like this, you're looking at around $300 to $350 in this condition. Probably even could ask more considering the fact it looks higher grade. Here's one of my favorites. This is the 1901, $1, and this is a United States note. So you see you have national currency, you have the fractionals, now you've got the United States notes. And this, like I said, is one of my favorites. That's a red scalloped, and it's FR 117, which is very important, a very fine 20. This one here is, pretty rare and can go for anywhere from $1,300 to $1,400. This one is FR 122M, which means it's a mule. It means that the plate numbers that you see on the note are different sizes, different plates. You can see the B, you can see it down here, plate number, and then on the reverse is the other plate number. It shows you John Burke back plate 349. This one's not worth as much as the other one. Sometimes mules don't add value to a note. So sometimes it does, but about $1,200. It is a lower grade, choice fine 15, fine 15. Then here's a favorite, a huge favorite. Everybody likes the Black Eagle. Very beautiful note. And very high grade for this one here. I mean, it's really nice. So it graded 64, choice uncirculated, FR 233, Teehee, and Burke. And a note like this is pretty valuable. Man, some of these can be extremely valuable when you get up into the mint state. So this one here, you're talking around $800, $900 in value. Then here is what they call a tombstone, because that's what it looks like. This is a $10 1891 silver certificate, Tillman & Morgan. It's FR 299, and it graded out at very good 10. It's a really nice note. It's amazing how some of these survived, how they did. It's got a huge fold down the middle. It's actually missing some of the details, some of the note itself. This one, even in this low of condition, is worth around $800. Then we have a treasury note, which is probably one of my favorites. I really like the look here of this note. It's not a star note. That's normal to have the star after the serial number on these. It's a 1891. It's a FR 358 Bruce and Roberts, very fine 20, $2 note. I mean, that's really cool there. That's a note to have right there. And this note's going to be in the $1,200 to $1,300 range. It'd be hard to find one for under $1,000 in this condition. And it does have a little bit of staining here. They didn't note that on here. I don't see it. They usually put the notes up here for something done to it. They're a little more lenient on paper because coins, when they've got an issue, usually get a details grade. They don't do that with notes so much. They put notes on it because this is paper. It's hard to keep this maintained paper. And after all these years, 1891, how many hands of this went through to circulate to very fine 20 and to be folded and touched? I mean, it's actually really nice for a very fine 20. Might even bring more money than that. I'm listing retail, but some of the stuff you can almost, ask a little bit more for if it's nice enough. This is a really good one here. This is extremely rare in this grade. It's a $5 1899. It's a Spielman and White FR 281. Very fine 25. This is really nice. And it is one of my favorite notes. And it is, like I said, rare in this condition. It can sell for up to $1,800 in this condition. Now, that's a very high retail number. I'll have to do a little bit more research to make sure. But, I mean, this is just, usually when you see these, they're, very good 10 or less. They're really in rough condition. This is nice for the grade. Then we have, and trust me, I've got this really rare one we're going to talk about here in a minute. We'll move on to these more common ones. Now, this one's a $10 1914 Federal Reserve note, Chicago. It's extra fine. And this is your Federal Reserve note, of course. FR 930, Burke and Houston. And this one here, you're looking at around $300 note. I love the design. It's got an industrial feel to it. And then here's the $20 version of that. White and Melon in 975. It says AU58. This is really close to uncirculated. As close as you can get. They don't put 59 on them. This, like I said, series of 1914. This is from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And this note, you're looking at around $700 in value. A little bit different of a reverse there. Then we have a 1917 $2 legal tender, United States note, and it's really nice condition. It graded at AU 58 as well, almost uncirculated. FR 60, Spielman White, very popular names on notes. And this one here, you're looking at about $450. It's nice. Really nice condition. It's got some staining over here, I noticed. Some foxing, what they call that. And then here is the 1917 legal tender, Elliott Burke. It's FR 37. Very fine 35. This one, $250. Sawhorse seesaw. I think that's what they call that. It's a really nice note. Then we're going to talk about this one here. This is probably one of the most rare national currencies that I've ever handled, and didn't know this because of the city. It's Lewisburg, Pennsylvania, Charter 745, $1 original SN. This one is, I don't find any images online of this note. It might be one that exists. It might be, and it's a small town, and maybe a couple exist, but there's just no images to compare this to. It has 1865 on it. They haven't put a date on it. But very good tin. You know, this note I would value at least $1,000, and it may go a little higher. I have a Portsmouth note that I paid $1,400 or $1,500 for, and it's a 1875. It's the same, I believe. But when you get into some of the first notes, the first national currencies out there, and you can't find a similar example. I mean, this one survived somehow. Someone got it in a collection. You know, people that live in Lewisburg usually pay more for notes like these just to get them, bring them back to their hometown. And a lot of them are only known for 1 to 2 or 3. They just didn't survive. And the have this one here, I'm going to probably call a coin dealer in Lewisburg. I looked them up and just see if they're interested in it and see what they think. So basically, we're looking at around $9,000 in retail here, depending on what I sell it for. The grading fees and all that cost me $666. And I bought these notes with some other notes. There were some silver certificates and things like that in there for almost $6,000, just under $6,000, I think it was. These were at PMG for over a month. I took a chance, did pretty good with a couple of them, but at least I can value these and I'll make my money on these here. But anyway, I wanted to share that with you. I hope you enjoyed it. We've had so many different types of currency in this country, and if something would happen to our currency today, then they would just start another type of currency. We just reset. I don't think it's going to go to where we got to use gold and silver. I think that's a pipe dream. There's just not enough gold and silver out there for everybody. That's why it's worth more. That makes sense. You want it to be that way. So thanks for watching my latest video. Please like, share, and comment, and have a great day.